just the other day, I was talking with one of the folks that works with me, and they just got back from Google Camp and they learned all kinds of great things. And so we started talking about, the great things they learned. And while I was watching her use her Chrome browser, I realized there was probably a couple tips and tricks that she didn't know about. So I'm going to share some of the things that I showed her. One of the first tips is using your 3-button mouse. So I could click on my Gmail, for example, and it would open up in a browser. But if I wanted to, say, do Google Plus, it'll overwrite this. But perhaps I want it to be in a new tab. I can certainly open up the new tab and select my Gmail and bring it up there. But this is, it just kind of increases steps. So one way I could do this is right click on the link that I have and open that in a new tab. And then I can go look at it. And I do this often, with various messages that I get. So for example, I'm going to bring up a Paperly issue. And as I'm looking through the articles, I want to read one of these articles. So I can right click on it and say open in a new tab. And I can continue to do that. But that requires 2 clicks. If you have a mouse that has 2 buttons and perhaps a wheel, what you can do instead is press on the wheel when you're looking at passing over a link, and it will automatically open it up into a new tab. So this saved me a number of steps that I can just click on something with my wheel and it opens up in a new tab. And typically what I do is I read these and open these items up as I'm going through, and then I will read them to see if I want to save them. Okay, so that's certainly one way to do it. So the other thing that I was showing was storing favorite links, on your bookmark bar. And I have a number of links here. And one of the ways that you can do it is you can right click on the bookmark bar and add a folder. And we'll just save this as a new folder. Actually, let me try that. Oh, I put it right in there. And I didn't want that. I want that up there. So I have this new folder. So if I like this particular link, I can click on the link and drag it to that new folder. And so now I have my Google Plus in that new folder. And so here I have what I consider my start menu for Google Chrome. And these are things that I open every day. These are my calendar, my music, some project management stuff. And so I put that information in there. And so now using that same strategy, if I pass over the folder and use the wheel or the middle button of my mouse, it will open everything that's inside there. If I did it by right-clicking on it, it would give me an option to open all bookmarks. And I could also open them up into a new window, which that is also possible. So now I have all these bookmarks. These are what I typically have open. And one of the things that I can do is, using the start menu is great, but instead what I do is I pin them by right-clicking and selecting Pin tab to my browser. And I will show you what happens when we go ahead and close the browser. So I'll close the browser. And when I open that browser back up, all those particular tabs will now open automatically. and be available to me. Now, you have to make sure if you have multiple browser windows open that this is the last window to close. If not, you got to redo it. And that's why I have this start folder, because I got tired of going and finding all these things. Another tip that is important is, and pull up my Gmail, for example, is sometimes you want to work in multiple windows. That you have two screens, you want to spread things out a little bit. And so by left clicking on the tab, you can pull this off and have this as a separate window, and put it onto a different screen. And so you have this two different windows. So you can work in one. I do this with spreadsheets. I may be pulling information from another site and putting it into a spreadsheet. And then when you're done, you can either close it or you can drag it back and put it back on your window. And yeah, those are the big things that I wanted to show on how to be a little more productive with Google Chrome. Hope you found these tips useful.